sister.
All right, y'all. Isaiah 11:11. Where we at, brother? Show him some love one time. It's a powerful name, by the way. Another t-shirt, too. Respect.
Peace, y'all. How y'all doing?
All right.
Yes.
I haven't been on the stage in a minute. First, giving all honor to our ancestors, the ones today in King Day. One thing that I learned from Martin Luther King is follow your own truth. Follow your own truth, no matter what that is. I'm gonna do a poem called Homeless in honor of King Day because I think that the reason why we have homeless is because we have a loss of family. And if we have family, there will be no homeless because somebody will take somebody in, right? And so I think that's our battle for today. Whether it's the youth in school, you know, with no one to guide them, and as they go through the process and drop out, what have you, and that's where they end up. The sun goes up and the sun goes down and the seasons change while the world goes round, and I stay the same by holding up my sign and the sun goes down, but I'm still around at the shelter where the meat gather around, hope some food remains while I stand in line. You see, we can't believe in shame just in you, just in humankind, so please be kind and spare me some spare change. I know that you don't remember my name, but can you please spare me some spare change? To most, I've lost the dignity of a man, but from your first glance, you see, you hold my hopes in hand, so I come at you with mine two open hands, and I hope that you see a child and not a man. So please pretend that I'm a child who's lost and in need of a helping hand. In high school, you and we was probably friends. Our pictures on opposite pages of the yearbook. I know it's been a while since then. You don't remember? That's okay. But can you please spare a nickel? Because honestly, I'm just trying to get home through the comforts of a bottle. So please, spare me some spare change. I know that you don't remember my name, but can you please? You see the cold air? It keeps after me. 4 pants, four jackets, plastic bag, but it still captures me. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. If I should die before I wake, bury me to amazing grace, because it's grace that keeps me from freezing each night that I wait. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take, because I tried to shelter and there was no bed for me. I tried the hallway, but there was no room for me. My only prayer is to God, please help me breathe and touch the hearts of those who are asked to eat. Jesus, he said he gave the earth to the meek. So I sleep in the open and I walk the city streets at night. When you go home to the comforts of your homes, everything you kick belongs to me. So please, spare me some spare change. I know that you don't remember my name, but can you please? You see, I bring to you a homeless voice from the wilderness, and I ask you, why do you tie to God who owns all this and pass me by as if I do not exist? Some lose their jobs and they slit their wrists. But you see me, I lost my job, but at least I stayed adrift. Though with a sea of alcohol and a pool of drugs, you must understand, the devil, he masters us, our souls is rubbed. Poverty, a disease laying dormant in all of us. Some of us was doctors who walked a straight line. A rape victim turned prostitute who retired to the soup line. The veteran who served his country but lost his mind. Your brother or your cousin who went crazy after doing too much time. The lover whose broken heart took their sunshine. They lost the house and all, but at least they found their love and wine. The homeless are nothing but a portrait of the tragedy of humankind. So the next time you pass me by, please don't hesitate to drop a dime. Because who knows, this economy tomorrow might bring sorrow, and your feet will be next to mine, probably asking me for my spare sign. joint, brother. It ain't released, nothing. I'm gonna try it out with y'all. I'm gonna have to stay over here. Alright. Yeah. Babylon push shit, get grown. Babylon push shit, get grown. Shit, get grown. The foundation come tumbling down. Babylon push shit, get grown. Shit, get grown. Fire, brimstone from the side of my sound. Babylon push shit, get grown. Shit, get grown. Drop that scatter. The lost is not found. Babylon push shit, get grown. Shit, get grown. That's why the mirror of the rest of my sound. Me and the yaga for making scatter. Then my teeth, then my master, but me rattle. See me blood pull fire. For all of you can cry out. Before the black medallion, me let me lose my dagger. It's not the same since the days we were kings. All remains jailhouse and bloodstained soul. I came to reclaim our name. Can't tame my life, man. I'm a king. I'm a lover. Shake it ground, shake it ground. The foundation come to money. Babylon put shake it ground, shake it ground. Fire bricks, blood. Babylon put shake it ground, shake it ground. Drop that scatter. The lost is not from Babylon. Shake it ground, shake it ground. That's why the number. And now my time, what them losing chatter. Use a spiritual mind, I'm using shutter. Josh said use me fire out for make the youth stand up. Black man rise up, punch stage the bottom. I can't refrain from the blood in my veins through the chains. Cotton fields, dope game, I feel your pain. Feeling lost, joining gangs, the seasons change. Yeah, every day, still the same. All the children who've been left in the rain, crack cocaine. This generation, give me blame. The child soldier who regrets his new name, become a killer, or regret his new name. Master's plan to retain our gang camp. Besides man, so I sing. The foundation come tumbling down. Babylon put shake it grown, fire brimstone from the side of my sound. Babylon put shake it grown.
Yo, give it up for Isaiah 11:11. Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Great leaders were taken out was also modeled in the same way in every urban center. I think we're at another time right now, which is why we call this the movement, because I feel this is something happening not just here in Atlanta, but also in DC, in New York, in Detroit, in Philly, in LA, in Oakland, in Houston, and all across, all across the nation, if not the world. We see there's a need, a shift underway in people's thinking, right? And part of that has to do with recognizing that we have a responsibility to each other. Okay, if you've been graced and blessed to bless somebody else, like people you might perceive to be homeless, those that you might see and look down upon because they may appear to be different than you, it's something to really check ourselves on. And King has a statement here that I think is very, very telling. All too many of those who live in affluent America ignore those who exist in poor America. In doing so, the affluent Americans will eventually have to face themselves with the question that Eichmann chose to ignore: how responsible am I for the well-being of my fellows? To ignore evil is to become an accomplice to it. So when we say the evil in this case is the poverty system, because capitalism doesn't exist without a poverty class. That's the way it's designed, people. We know this, it's a truth. Were it not for a poverty class, you would not have capitalism. It's incumbent that capitalism is predicated upon having the have-nots. And so that a small group, and I'm not talking about the middle class either, because they're really, according to this system, considered paper slaves, caught in something known as a debt trap. Okay? Debt is slavery. It may appear that you got all kinds of nice clothes and things like that, but you don't own them. You're indebted for them. And for the debts you don't pay, your children inherit that debt.